Welcome to Turning Ideas into Successful Companies, CSIT 308. Today's session, we're going to look at industry analysis and trends. We'll cover economic sector, industry, size and growth rates of our industry, and we'll look at the sensitivity to economic cycles. So, your economic sector, a broad category into which your industry or business falls is the economic sector. The four general sectors are service, manufacturing, retail, and distribution. Your business may belong to more than one sector. For example, you could both manufacture products for resale by others and sell them yourself at the retail level. Economic sectors experience trends, and it's useful to note your sector's patterns. It is unnecessary to do a detailed analysis of your sector, but you should understand its past performance and growth projections. Your industry. Your business may intersect two or more industries. For instance, you may produce electronic devices utilized in new and used automobiles. Thus, you are part of three industries: the electronics industry, the new automobiles industry, and the automobile aftermarket. Usually the used car industry has many different issues than the new car industries. If your business falls in more than one industry, research each of the applicable industries, giving particular weight to issues most relevant to your business. Let's take a look at the size and growth rates of your industry. Pay attention particularly to the rate at which your industry is expanding. This gives you insight into the opportunities available for your business. How does the growth rate for your industry compare with the growth of the GDP, which measures national economy? This comparison will give you an idea of the current health of your industry. If information for your overall industry is difficult to find, you can estimate its approximate size and growth by evaluating the largest companies in the field. You can get copies of their annual reports and analysis from stock brokerages and read articles about them in trade and business publications. Industries don't remain static. They may change dramatically over time. Generally, the life cycle of an industry comprises of four phases. There's the new, the expanding phase, the stable, and the declining phase. The last phase, decline, is not inevitable. Many long-standing, stable industries show no sign of decline. Industries have distinct attributes in different stages of maturity. Even industries that seem closely related are quite dissimilar based on development stages. For instance, the soft drink industry is relatively stable, and a few major companies dominate the field. Little room exists for newcomers, and it would be extremely expensive to try to compete. On the other hand, bottled water is a developing industry with lots of competition and variation. Let's take a look at the sensitivity of businesses to the economic cycles. Now, some industries are heavily dependent on strong economies, either nationally or internationally. And it is crucial to understand how vulnerable your industry is to economic conditions. Construction, large consumer items, and tourism all prosper when the economy is healthy. Industries dependent on new business formation or business expansion, such as office and technical equipment, also perform far better in good times. Industries such as discount department stores and used car dealership are counter-cyclical, doing relatively better in poor economies than in strong ones. And some industries such as personal care products and low-cost entertainment are fairly immune to economic cycles. If your business is located in a smaller community that is heavily dependent on one industry or major employer, take into account the effect of the economy on that industry or company, and thus your own business. Considering the economic conditions or cycles that affect your business helps you anticipate and plan for growth in good times and belt tightening in difficult times. Let's look at seasonality. For many industries, certain times of the year produce higher revenues than others. For example, toy companies are dependent on Christmas sales, while summer is the big season for bathing suit manufacturers. Many industries fluctuate based on holidays. More retail businesses and consumer products are affected by Christmas season, which may account for 1/3 or 1/2 of all sales. Non-essential products and services may actually suffer during the Christmas season as consumers reduce non-gift expenses. Let's look at technological change. Technological advances affect every industry. Technology changes the way products are made and sold, and how information and communication is managed, and how costs are reduced. The internet has dramatically affected many aspects of even the most traditional industries, including sales and distribution channels, customer service, and relationships with suppliers. It is impossible to imagine all the technology developments that may affect your industry in the next 5 years, but it's useful to take note of the trends of the last 5 or 10 years. If yours is an industry in which technology changes rapidly, assume that you will need to be positioned to respond to change, and indicate in your business plan your strategy to do so and the financial or financing required to do so. What are the financial characteristics here then? No area of your industry analysis is more important than an evaluation of the financial patterns characterizing your industry, especially if you are new to the field. Knowing the standards of such aspects as markups, commission, and returns on sales will substantially help your own budgeting process. Then finally, much of this information may seem difficult to locate if you are just entering the industry. Perhaps the best way to get this information is to interview those already in the industry, especially those who are not your direct competitors. Just make certain information in industry specific. Knowing the retail markup or apparel won't tell you the markup of food, consumer electronics, or fashion accessories. Thank you very much. See you in the next session.